up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the 10-7 MMA. I'm DS, and as always, I'm here with the one and only Dino Bam Bam.
Yo, DS, what up? You're not just here with me today, man. You know we got a special guest. We kind of teased it on the show yesterday. We got the Chicago flag behind us. I got the Bears shit on, the Cubs hat on. So we got a Chicago legend. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you let him know?
Yeah, we have with us on this most special occasion the number 5 ranked heavyweight in the world, a former interim title challenger, one of the most feared men on the planet, and most importantly of all, a Chicagoan, of course, Curtis Razor Blaydes.
Curtis, what's going on, man?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you guys having me on the show.
For sure, for sure.
Thank you for doing it, man.
No worries.
What's going on with you? We know you're hanging out with your daughter right now. We appreciate you making the time.
I'm just hanging out at home, workouts. I got home a couple hours ago, went to the playground, had a play date, then got a little distracted with dinner and bath time and all that, but I'm all good now, locked in.
Absolutely. MMA fighters, they're just like us, right?
Yeah.
But thanks for doing it, man. Thanks for hopping on with us. We wanted to just kind of first, since you are, of course, a Chicagoan like us, if you couldn't tell from all the various sports memorabilia and whatnot, I think Dino wanted to ask you a couple things about just some Chicago-related stuff.
Yeah. So, hey, Curtis, man, big things going on in the city, right? Of course, we had you just back in town getting honored by your high school. You went to De La Salle, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
There we go. Shout out De La Salle. So, and then this weekend, we got 2 Chicago boys fighting on the card. We got Bilal Muhammad, Charles Radke. Yesterday, of course, we found out the new Pope is from Chicago. Turns out he's a White Sox fan, so that's pretty cool. I needed to ask you, though, deep dish or tavern style thin crust Chicago pizza? What do you like more?
I go for thin crust. I only do deep dish. That's for like celebrations, birthdays, graduations, big events. Can't eat that stuff every day.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. It's heavy.
It is heavy. Honestly, I agree, though, right? It's like deep dish. Like, if I'm in the mood for pizza, I'm not getting deep dish.
Nah.
Right? If I'm in the mood for pizza, I'm just going to get thin crust. But every now and then, you get the itch for that deep dish, though. But all right, since Dino already touched on the Pope being a White Sox fan, how about you? Do you go Cubs or Sox?
Oh, I grew up in Bronzeville, and my high school is a mile away from Comiskey.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. I did have both on the ready, but I figured you would say White Sox just based off that. But just wanted to double check first.
Hey, you're a big Bears fan, right, Blaydes?
Yes, sir. I'm a huge Bears fan. I'm looking forward to this year. I have a lot more hope than I did last year because we got Ben Johnson now. I like the draft. I like the tight end we got. I like the O-lineman we were able to pick up in free agency. And I also like the growth of Caleb. A lot of people said he had a bad year. I think it was a bad year. I think under circumstances of the coaching staff, the horrible offensive line, and I don't want to say lack of weapons, but just the scheme. Everything was all deep routes. It wasn't a very rookie friendly scheme. And I just think this year with his growth and the weapons, I like that receiver we got from Missouri, Burden. He seems nice. Been watching his highlights. I know you're not supposed to watch highlights because it's only going to show you the good stuff, not the bad stuff. But all the good stuff I've seen out of him, I think he can be a real producer.
Yeah. Ben Johnson, I'm pumped about too, bro. I'm so glad you said that too. And yeah, Burden, man, a lot of people feel like that was like a steal of the draft type shit. So
yeah,
man, we always get our hopes up, but I'm glad that you at least sharing that with us because I mean, I think this should be different because it started at the top, right? You got what seems like a legitimate coach and an actually who's proven that he can put up a high-powered offense, and the fact that we fixed the O-line, I think that's huge. Getting what's called the 2 guards, and signing Drew Dahlman too. So Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. I hope you're right, Curtis, because I can't do this shit much longer. I'm gonna need something positive out of the Bears, man.
Yeah, hey, I'm not expecting the playoffs. I just want to be. I want to be in every game. I don't want the blowouts,
100%.
and I want to have hope. It's been a long time since I had like legitimate hope.
Absolutely. And more than anything, I think I agree with you, by the way. I thought Caleb Williams was pretty good. Like, we had really high hopes, number one overall pick, but I think with that offensive line, like you said
Yeah.
yourself, pretty good, man. And I still have really high hopes for him. So more than anything, I just want to see him excel. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that like he's good and then I'll feel good about it.
As long as he's growing, it's a win. We don't have to make the play. I don't expect to make the playoffs. Our division's hard now. The Packers are great. Vikings, we'll see, but I still believe in them. And the Lions are no longer the Lions. They're legit now.
Which
Yep.
is absolutely crazy, by the way. We grew up our whole lives.
Yeah.
The Lions were absolute dog shit. And now they're stunting on us. I see these Lions fans. I got a lot of friends that are Lions fans, and they got the nerve to talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Honestly,
they
they
deserve
kind
it.
of deserve it though. Like,
Yeah.
of course, cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I
been
root for the Lions. I root for them. If it ain't gonna be us, I'd rather the Lions win it.
Yeah,
no
better than the
question.
Vikings and the Packers for sure.
Definitely
No
not the
question.
Packers. Definitely not the Packers.
Let me ask you this, Curtis Blades. Does ketchup belong on a hot dog? Do you subscribe to that shit?
No. That's blasphemy. I don't do that.
Okay.
Although,
Chicago dog or what's up?
just any dog. I'm not really into ketchup on meat. I don't eat them on, my hamburgers either. I'm just a ranch or mustard guy for hot dogs.
Okay.
Respect.
I like it.
I
Let me
respect
ask you. Let me ask you this, Curtis. Moving on a little bit from Chicago, of course we got some Chicago viewers, but not everybody. They're gonna be like, "The fuck are these guys talking about?"
Yeah, for sure.
Something we do want to know though. Me and DS, we're '90s kids. I know you're a '90s kid. Every time you walk out, we hear that Mortal Kombat, and I absolutely love that shit. We grew up playing that game. I'm assuming you did too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who's your character? Who you using in Mortal Kombat?
Reptile.
Reptile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I like that. See, I thought you were gonna go a little more old school than that because I was gonna say Sub-Zero.
Well, originally, yeah, because I used
Yeah.
to have a logo and I had like the Sub-Zero, like the scratch on the eye.
Mm-hmm.
He was my original inspiration, but then after really, because I've been asked this a bunch of times, it's Reptile. I like how the finisher move when he spit the acid on him and the skull melts and all that stuff.
Unreal. Unreal. Hey, by the way, DS wanted to tell you something. So, speaking of video games, DS, you want to let them know what
Yeah, I
happened
was
in the
just
video
about
game?
to say. So, all right. So, look, me and Dino have talked about this for years, right? That in the UFC video games, which we're avid players of. Do you ever play it, by the way?
No, I actually have it, but I haven't. I
Is that
play
weird for you?
Madden. I'm big into Madden.
For sure, for sure. But in the UFC video games, bro. So so you said you haven't really played them. Fighting you in the video games is one of the most
I've
frustrating
always
things.
heard that. I get people hit me up all the time, like, bro, I hate playing against you in the game. I'm like, that's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know.
Hey, you're whatever. I mean, and just kind of like you, right? The takedowns are unbelievable, very frustrating. The ground and pound is legit. Like you can't get up. It's something that me and this guy have talked about for literally years. So I just had to ask you about it.
I think that's an accurate representation of me as a fighter. Like, I should have the best wrestling in the division on the game in real life also. And I should have the best ground and pound also. That's who I am. So yeah, if you're gonna have me in a video game, those just have to be the highest attributes. I don't know how they do the stats and stuff, but my wrestling has to be like the highest in the division.
5-star. It's 5 stars.
Okay. Yeah, has to be.
Yep.
As
And
it
then
should be.
and speaking of ground and pound, real quick, I just need to throw this in there. No glazing, but that fucking elbow against Alistair Overeem, that is my favorite ground and pound highlight. Like, it's hard to say, like, I got ground and pound highlights that I like, but that's one of the legendary ones.
No, you know what's messed up about that though is like we're homies now. So like whenever I repost it or anyone, I really don't like to repost it because I know he watches my stories and shit. Like it feels awkward. But every blue moon I repost it. He doesn't have any hard feelings about it. I feel awkward now because we're cool now.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that to him. I met the wife, the daughters. I met everybody, and every time I look at the scar, I feel bad.
Damn, that's crazy. You never see that's crazy. I love that insight because that's not something that us regular folk ever think about, right? Like we simply don't have those situations. Like, yeah, I split his head open. We're cool as hell now, though. Met his wife, good people. Like I cringe when I look at it. You know what I mean?
We're gonna go out there. He's been asking me for years now to go out to the Netherlands, bring out my family out there to hang out with them.
Love
So
that.
we'll do that eventually. Just don't know when yet.
I love that. Love that, man. Well, I think, now that we're kind of talking about your fighting style and things like that, I think it's a perfect time to just kind of jump in. So in about 5 or 6 weeks now, I'm assuming, are you actively in camp right now?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so obviously you've got to fight against a relative newcomer, especially for the UFC, Rizvan Kuniev. Kind of a relatively unknown guy to most UFC fans, right? And they're giving him a top 5 guy now, right? How does that make you feel?
I'll take the paycheck. It's no disrespect. This is a UFC. You got to earn your ranking. You got to remind people. I got to remind the world who I am. If they honestly believe he's got a chance to beat me, that's on me. I got to do better. I got to show them I don't deserve top 5 opponents, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it, so for you, does it really, I mean, was there any hesitation in taking a fight like that for you? Or is it just like, no matter what it is, even if I'm fighting up, down, I'm just going to take whoever they give me?
Yeah, I got that type of mindset from my buddy Neil Magny. He's one of the guys. He will fight anybody, anywhere. It don't matter. And I've always seen him do that, and I'm just like, why wouldn't I do that? Because he explains it from a financial standpoint. I I could sit out a year and a half, and I'd be all right financially. But why miss out on that money?
Yeah,
Respect.
absolutely, man. Let me ask you this, Curtis. So this fight originally was supposed to take place back in February. I believe that was the fight where you ended up getting sick on fight day. Is that
No,
right?
no, no. He got hurt
Okay.
because I was supposed to be February 22nd in Seattle, and then they rescheduled it for March 8th, and then that's when I got norovirus, and that
Okay.
shit it fucked me up. I was peeing out of my asshole for about 8 hours.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
So that's 2 times that this fight fell apart. First time was him, second time you got really sick, and then now it's been rescheduled for June 21st. And my question was more along the lines of it's 2 parts, right? Number one, has it been annoying to kind of be in camp for this long for the same guy? And then number two, yeah, my bad. And then number two, it's like you're now having to go and essentially fight this newcomer, which I know you said you don't care about, but in basically enemy territory, right?
That's fine with me. That goes back to me being a wrestler. I enjoy going to other people's high schools and smashing them and hearing their home crowd just go silent. I enjoy that. I did it. I enjoyed it when we went to Australia. I know Mark Hunt isn't Australian, but he's from New Zealand, so almost right there, right there. I beat him in Australia. We were going to go to Brazil and beat Almeida, but I hurt my ankle, had to get rescheduled. I ended up beating him in Miami. I would have enjoyed beating him in Brazil. I like going to other people's homes.
I love that finish, man. That was the second round, right? Right up against
Yeah.
the cage.
Yeah.
Love that shit. Love that shit.
Yeah, and you love, yeah, I mean, that was a kind of a fraud check moment, I would say.
Yeah. He was really just getting away with just the wrestling at the heavyweight division is bad. I can speak on it. I've taken advantage of it also. I can't blame him for that. But yeah, he got exposed. He don't have any hands, or maybe he does. He just doesn't have any belief in his hands. Because for you to go right back into the wrestling after you just took me down a bunch of times in the first round, spent all your energy on that, to go right back into the same game plan, it shows a lack of fight intelligence. Like you gotta understand. I'm not gonna let you have the same game plan you did against me in round one. You gotta switch it up. He didn't switch it up.
Did you feel he was small? Because that's a guy that moved up from
Oh yeah,
205. Yeah.
yeah. He's not a real heavyweight. He can wrestle, but he's not a real heavyweight.
Me and Dino, me and this guy have talked about this for a long time now. It's like, in particular, the wrestling in the heavyweight division, just like you said. So I'm glad you said that, man, because it's kind of crazy how few like very good so like that's the perfect example, right? You have a guy who's undersized, who saw an opportunity in a weight class above, and was absolutely
Yeah.
flying through people, right? Until you get to a guy like you. And before that fight too, me and this guy both were talking about it. Like, this is gonna be like a good moment to see what he's made of. And I mean, you showed us, right?
And we knew he almost exposed himself in the Derek Lewis fight because you take him down at will over and over. You spend, I don't know, 15 minutes in top position, either in mount or in half guard, and you don't land any strikes. That means you don't believe in your grounding pound. Like, what's the point of having a wrestling if you don't have any grounding pound to go with it? He doesn't believe in that.
Yep. And then just speaking of the heavyweight division in general, right? So obviously the biggest fight that everybody's, kind of waiting for at this point is Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones. Do you have any particular feelings on that fight? How do you see that going?
That's not happening. I'll let y'all in on some inside information. I hit up Aspinall. I was like, "Gee, what's going on?" He's like, he basically said, "John ain't gonna do it." So
Wow.
that fight's not happening. That's not happening.
Which is what I've been saying this whole time, man.
Yeah.
I've been saying that this whole time. I knew that shit was not
You
happening.
think it's a matter of like from the financial side?
It's John. No. They're offering him everything. They're offering him the most they can offer, and I think he's asking for a ridiculous amount just to be like, well, it's not me. I would fight him, but they're just not gonna pay me what I'm asking for. Well, if you're asking for like $50 million, no, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
This ain't boxing. You
Right.
know what it is, and I think he knows what he's doing. I think he also just enjoys having his name in other people's like mouths. Like right now, we're discussing him. I think he just enjoys being discussed.
Very interesting.
I'll say this, Curtis. I'm a big Jon Jones fan, and I know I've heard you on interviews. You talk positively about the guy. You understand what he's done in the sport, and I know you're saying it's not going to happen. But hypothetically, if we do end up getting to the point where those two are in the octagon, how do you see that going down? I think we froze him.
Here,
we're losing you, Curtis.
Jon Jones, you guys froze.
All right, you back? Can you see us?
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah. I heard Jon Jones, and that was the last thing I heard.
Okay, I was just saying, I know you've talked positively about Jon Jones in, previous interviews. You understand what he's done in this sport and the legacy that he's leaving behind and all that kind of stuff. And you're saying the fight's not going to happen. Hypothetically, if we do get to that point where they're in the octagon, how would you see that fight going down?
It could legitimately go either way. Like, it's heavyweight. Like how my fight with Tom went. He didn't smash me. I got caught, fell down. He got on my back, hit me 2-3 times, and the referee. It could go like that. It could go either way. Like, it's heavyweight. It's not who's the most skillful. It's usually who's the most aggressive. And I think Tom's a lot more aggressive than Jon, so I would give him the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just one more question about just the heavyweight division in general, right? So to me, it seems like it's very rare. I feel like it's much more rare compared to other weight classes at heavyweight, at least in modern day, where we see somebody come in. I feel like when there's like, oh, big time heavyweight prospect, they quickly get fraud checked, right? Why do you think that is? Like, do you think, is it like, for example, I think one of the small reasons could be like guys that are that big and that athletic and that strong, they're playing other sports. Like,
Yes.
why do you think that is?
I think it's a little bit of that. Like if you're 6'4" athletic, you're probably in the NFL or on the NBA or another league. And it's also just like heavyweight is such a power-based division that the margin of error is like razor thin. And one small, like I've watched a lot of other fights with uh, smaller guys, and they have these exchanges where each of them get hit 2, 3 times, and they're both just like, this, that's nothing. Heavyweight, you have one exchange like that,
Yep.
that's the fight. So just, I think it's a combination of a lack of legitimate athletes, and then it's just heavyweight. Like it's easy to make a small mistake, and there goes your win.
Yeah, 100%, man. That's what it is. Small margin of error, big dudes, fucking powerful. It don't matter, your chin can't handle it, right? Like if you get cracked by a big ass powerful dude, it don't matter how tough you are.
You're going down.
That's just what it is. Curtis, one more thing, man. So on this fight, right? You're going in. It's June 21st, right? That's the date, June 21st.
Yes,
All right, June 21st. You're taking on Rizvan Kuniev. How does this fight end up? Like I know you're going out there. You probably take him down and maul him, but how do you see the perfect fight playing out?
It really depends on how aggressive he is, but first round, heel him out a little bit, get a takedown, get him smoked. I never hunt the finish. That's why I don't really have a lot of first round finishes. I don't like to hunt them. I like to gather data, and usually somewhere in second round, guys will smoke. Takedowns are easier. They stop moving their feet. They start hucking, and they usually break. So I expect to break them in the second round.
There we go. And then so let's say it goes ideally for you, which again we both expect it to. We're both going to be picking you, so that's a little spoiler alert for our pick show that we're going to be doing in a couple weeks. But Curtis Blaydes goes out there, kicks some ass, gets himself a $50,000 bonus. How we celebrate, man? What does Curtis Blaydes drink? That's what we want to know.
Oh, I just got into whiskey. I've been whiskey these last like 6 months. I don't drink often, but when I have drank, it's been whiskey. I know Beyonce has a whiskey. I forget the.
No
Wait,
shit. What?
right, it's right here.
Okay.
My girl,
Dude, I did not know
Beyonce,
Beyonce has a
which one
whiskey.
is this?
Sir Davis.
Yeah,
I'm looking it up right now. It's good,
it's
huh?
smooth. It's smooth.
Okay.
And yeah, my girl, she also got me into wine.
Damn, we froze.
Damn.
I'm not really into wine, but this is wine for now. But
Okay.
before that, I was usually a vodka guy, whatever vodka, Belvedere, whatever.
Okay. So here's what are you dipping?
Yeah.
What do you dip, Curtis? I'm a dipper myself, bro.
Grizzly wintergreen, long cut.
Grizzly wintergreen long cut. Shout out. That's an OG, bro. That's some legendary shit right there.
That's what I started with. Well, no, I'm lying. In high school at D, we started with Skull Apple, but then we graduated to the grown man stuff.
There we go. All right, Curtis. Hey, I'll tell you this, man. Next time you are in town, bro, hit us up. We'll get some fucking Beyonce whiskey. We'll get some Grizzly wintergreen, bro. We'll call it a day. You know what I'm saying?
That's a wild mix, man. Yeah, I'm down.
Let's go. Curtis, anything else you want to tell your fans, bro?
I appreciate everybody. I know it's been a long. This fight was supposed to happen a while ago, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm gonna put on the show for y'all.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Curtis, thank you so much for your time, man. Really, really appreciate it.
No
It was
problem.
great talking to you. Obviously, we can't wait for you to kick some ass in June. Looking forward to it, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank
Just
you.
for everybody else, real quick. Obviously, you can find Curtis Blaydes everywhere. Everybody knows who he is. We don't have to say anything. On Instagram, all over the place. But you can also follow us on Instagram at the107MMA, like it says on the little ticker there. And of course, give us a like, man. Give us a little sub, right? We do things like this all the time. And Yeah, Curtis, we hope to have you back soon. Thank you.
Yes, sir. No, I'll be back. I like the job from Chicago. That means something.
There we go. Hey, Curtis, I'm gonna ask on the air, bro. Hit us with a follow, dog.
Oh, word. Yeah, I got y'all. I got you.
There we go. Our shout out, guys. Hey, that's my boy DS up there. That right there is the man, the myth, the legend, Curtis Blaydes, about to kick some fucking ass on June 21st. And I'm Dino Bam Bam. This is the 10-7 MMA. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.